Hey guys, how's it going? This is the third pair tray coming at you with a discussion video. Now, I'm a huge One Piece fan, and pretty soon, and I think I have a few. I'm gonna have to check this because I've only been making more videos just recently. So, pretty much, I'm gonna be talking about the latest One Piece chapter. Not many things in particular, just more so things that really intrigue me. Like for instance, in this recent chapter, the New Dawn, I believe is what it's called. It's been a whole week since Kaido and Big Mom was defeated. Everyone's still reeling over this. The world government's well aware that Luffy's Devil Fruit's true power has awakened. That Zunisha's gone, so there's that. So that just means that everyone was pretty much waiting outside the borders of Wano for a whole week. And it's like, what's gonna happen now? Well, we have to turn around because they're still pretty much an impenetrable nation. There's nothing we can do. It's like, okay, fine. There's nothing we can do. So now we cut back to Wano, and, we get some confirmation on a few things. One, there's a good chance that Hawkins died. There's a good chance, and not only that, but Izo's confirmed dead, Ashura Doji is confirmed dead. Yeah, there's that. Marco's still alive, thankfully, and all of that. And Luffy and Zoro finally wake up after a week. Luffy wants food. Zoro wants sake and booze, and finally have the banquet, and a whole bad scene. It's pretty much, what you would expect from a post battle as epic as this. A bunch of food, a bathhouse scene, and everything, with Yamato being the guy, despite being a straight up woman, being in the bathhouse, and Kiku wanting to be identified as a woman, but he's a male, allowed to being in the female house. Female bathhouse, it's whatever, Momonosuke, full grown, Hiyori just drop kicking him right in the face like they used to when they were kids. Once you saw that in the flashback, whether you read the manga or saw the anime, you knew if there was a way to make Momonosuke an adult, that's what was gonna happen, because Hiyori drop kicking Momo when he's just a little boy, as hilarious as that would seem and look, that would just be no. So there's that. Yeah, so, but that's just kind of like, I hesitate to call it fluff, because it's more so, it's what we expect to see, the comedic bits at the end of something serious, just before we get into more serious stuff. So, in this case, Akainu, Sakazuki, the fleet admiral, has been in contact with somebody that's en route to Wano. And just like how he sent Fujitora to Dressrosa, he sent Ryukyu to Wano. Yeah, he sent Green Bull to Wano. He is floating above Wano, just flying on a flower that he just grew out of his back. So that just confirms right there, not only does he have a devil fruit, it is a plant-based devil fruit. It concerns plants in somehow, some way. It concerns plant life. And that's the end of the chapter. And I don't think I missed anything. Outside of the cover serial, but that's something I'm gonna cover later, because that's literally a completely different storyline. So, first off, what I really want to talk about right now is Green Bull, who is the new admiral that's been inducted since Aokiji left and Akainu became the new fleet admiral, with Kizaru being the last one standing. Now, I have one of three. Well, of course, everyone's gonna have one of three possibilities of what could possibly his devil fruit be. First and foremost, it could easily be a paramecia. Here's why. Well, the reason being is that, at first we had 3 Logia-based devil fruits. We had the magma fruit from Akainu, the light fruit from Kizaru, and the ice fruit from Aokiji. Aokiji and left, and Akainu became Fleet Admiral after these two had their fight, with Kizaru being the last Logia standing. Fujitora, Isho, he has a gravity fruit, but it's Paramecia. So either there's going to be another Paramecia Admiral, or potentially this could be our look into a potential Logia plant-based fruit. Or we could have, this could be the look into a potential plant-based zone. Because think about it, technically plants are living. I mean, when you cut them down, unless you uproot them, they will naturally die, and not they're just going to keep growing and growing. I mean, the trees in real life just alone is ridiculous. And not to mention in other fictitious works, Poison Ivy and all that, from DC. And it just makes me realize every time Oda, and this is not the first time Oda has dropped something significant when it comes to zones. Because remember, when we first saw zones, it's like, okay, run-of-the-mill, just animal fruits. Then we get to Dressrosa, and we see a subcategory of the zones being the bugs, the insects through the Tontata, because they're so small, and that makes perfect sense, which kind of makes you wonder if there is a real-life human character, or God forbid, a giant character that has an insect-based zone fruit. I do not want to imagine an insect-based zone who ate the centipede or millipede fruit and the user's a giant. Do not want to think about that. So, since there's bug-based zones, and we confirmed through Kaido there's a fish-based zone that turns you into a dragon of the mythical descent, isn't that out of the realm of possibility? That there could potentially be a straight-up plant-based zone subcategory, or just like the fish fruit, a potential plant-based mythical, or maybe it could be a mythical zone that just works with plants. It can be as simple as that, because Oda has so far dropped several mythical zones. Have you noticed that? This past arc, Luffy is revealed to be a mythical zone. Kaido is a mythical zone. His daughter is a mythical zone. Marco is a mythical zone. There's a random ass wolf who ate a mythical zone. It's like, what's with all the mythical zones? And Orochi ate a mythical zone. So it's like, all right, if we're going to go on this train and fill up some of these subcategories of zone fruits with more members, because we had next to no mythical zones. Back then, we just had Sengoku and Marco. Now we got Luffy, Kaido, Yamato, the random-ass wolf, Onimaru, I believe is his name, and, Orochi, all these different characters. And it's like, okay, is this new Admiral one of them? Did he eat a mythical zone fruit that allows him to control plant life, or is it essentially a mythical zone that is a straight-up plant fruit, or is it a plant zone fruit? Because there are many different types of plants in the world. Many different types. So, if there is a plant zone, why not? Or it could be a mythical zone that just manipulates plant life. It can be that simple. Not to mention, you have to understand, whenever an admiral comes in, we are guaranteed to see them flex their power. Even though we're never going to learn their name until an SBS, we're going to see them flex their abilities. Aokiji froze an entire ocean. Kizaru and just shooting laser beams left and right in the Shimodi Archipelago. Akainu unleashed a full meteor shower of giant magma balls. And then we get Fujitora later on, and he's pulling meteorites from space. There's a desolate wasteland in Wano. In several areas in Wano, Orochi pretty much made it his mission to ruin that country. A golden nation is now just a borderline desolate wasteland, with the only thing prosperous being the flower capital, because that's where he lived. He wanted to run the whole country to the ground and make it into a weapons factory. So quite a few major rural areas that depended on plant life are just borderline desolate. Imagine him coming in, and Marines always like to help people. And I'm just going off of what Tekking 101 said, and shout out to Tekking, definitely subscribe to him. Definitely a great reviewer. Goes much more in depth to this stuff with me. I just like to talk about stuff. So it's like, pretty much he mentioned, what if Ryokugyu just comes in, uses his powers, and just restores the plant life throughout the entire, not just that one region, but throughout the entire nation of Wano as a whole? And I'm like, you know what? It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, you're floating in on a spinning, like, dandelion or sunflower or whatever it is. I dare say it's a sunflower. What if it's something as simple as that? What if it was like the plant fruit model sunflower? Like it's an actual zone devil fruit, but it's a plant-based zone devil fruit, and it's as simple as, oh, I ate the plant fruit model sunflower. So I can absorb all the sunlight I want, and I don't need food. Photosynthesis. And I'm like, I can buy that. And not to mention, it's One Piece. There have been weirder fruits. We have seen weirder fruits. And outside of that plant dude from film Z, which is a filler film, mind you, we have never seen plant-based powers in this series ever utilized. At least I don't think. No. We haven't seen anything any close. And for all we know, this guy could basically be like this guy could be the Hashirama Senju of One Piece. I'm calling it right now. Ryokugyu, power-wise, is the Hashirama Senju of One Piece. Just a wood, nature-style master. But yeah, and I dare say this, now that Luffy's awakened his Devil Fruit and everyone's getting a buff in their bounties and in their powers at the end of this, after seeing what Luffy did at the end of Dressrosa when they tried to escape and Luffy went straight to Fujitora to fight him because he said, I'm not going to run away from powerful enemies like you anymore. What do you think Luffy's going to do now that he's mastered a new form to use? He's mastered a new way to use armament haki. Now he figured out how to use conquerors with armament haki with his attacks, and he just awakened his Devil Fruit. You really think he is going to miss up? He's going to pass up an opportunity to fight an Admiral one-on-one? I don't know how brief the fight's going to be. I don't know if there's even going to be a fight. I dare say Ryokugyu is just going to be like, hey, you guys, I don't have an issue with you. This is just my job. We can be looking at Ryokugyu, and for all we know, he's the next Aokiji. But we kind of got that with Fujitora, though. Like, Fujitora seems to be on the up and up. Like, so far, Akainu is an asshole. Flat out. Aokiji was cool. No pun intended. Kizaru is scary. Because he's unpredictable. But when it comes to Fujitora, you can't really sense anything off about him or bad about him. He really wants to help the world in a major way, which is why he wanted the warlord system abolished, because of red flags like Doflamingo, Crocodile, Gecko Moria, and whatnot. So there's that. And also there's and of course, Law and the stuff he did, but that's kind of minimal in the grand scheme of things. And then you have Ryokugyu, who honestly seems on the up and up too. From what we see him, he has a pretty decent personality, like a likable personality. So I dare say he's going to come in, he's going to help with the plant life, he's going to announce the bounties or whatever, And he's probably going to say something shocking because at the end of this chapter next week, there's going to be a full month break for Oda to prepare for the final saga. The last slew of arcs for this story. The story's ending soon, which is why I'm freaking out about this and going nuts about what Ryuko can possibly do and what he can possibly have. Yeah, this is Labradorite, by the way. I will talk about this in another video. But anyway, so it's also called Dragonheart. So, that's pretty much all I gotta talk about Ryuko just power-wise, and I have a feeling that he may be a contender. It's either gonna be, and also, one last thing I forgot to mention about the chapter is that the Gorosei were discussing whether or not they should go ahead to capture Nico Robin, and I'm like, well, you can try, but you will definitely fail. There's way too much protection for her now. Especially considering the fact that she's a member of the Straw Hats, who are now they're pretty much the heroes of Wano. Whether you're the government or not, you really think that you are going to stop them from protecting the people that just saved their home? And you already said the samurai are too powerful. There's a reason why we never tried to open the borders up until now. And even now, we can't open up the borders. We have to turn around. Okay. All right. What's this new Admiral gonna do? Is he gonna say, oh, and I'm taking Nico Robin away and there's nothing you can do? If anything, that would spark a fight with Luffy. That would be the only reason. That would be another reason why Luffy would want to fight Ryokugyu, because Luffy already knows about what the world government's capable of just from the auction house. He knows, and from Enies Lobby, and Impel Down, and Marineford, and all of that. He knows what the Marines are capable of, what the world government's capable of, what the Celestial Dragons are capable of, and the Cypher Pole. So if he catches wind of either Cypher Pole, or Admiral, or the Admiral comes in and says, yeah, I'm going to take Nico Robin away, Luffy's immediately going to start swinging. Immediately gonna start swinging, no hesitation. So, whether there's gonna be a brief fight or no fight, I'm not sure. Not sure. But anyway, that's pretty much it for the chapter. And before I sign out, I just want to point out that there's also a good chance that what Tekking said in his review, that in the beginning of this chapter, we see in the cover serial with the Germa trying to rescue Niji and Yonji, it was successful. However, as Ichiji and Reiju are walking out, Reiju senses something, looks over to the right, and Caesar Clown is there still. Apparently, after getting his heart back, he didn't leave. He didn't just become gas and just leave and float away, and I can imagine why, because there's still eyes and ears everywhere. Totland might as well be Pee-wee's kingdom, because everything's alive, which means everything is relaying information to the to the Charlotte siblings, because they're in charge of the crew. Their mother's gone, so any crew member already has controlling power over a certain region of the kingdom in her absence. So if there's someone they need to capture, or someone they need to keep an eye on, or a prisoner that they can't let escape, they're not gonna let them escape. Caesar Clown being a prime example, because he still owes them giants. He still owes them a lot of results, a lot of promises that he did not plan on keeping, and he can't get out. So now I dare say this is his best chance to escape. Now that the Germa is here, this is their best chance to get out of there. This is his best chance to get out of Totland, because all he would have to do is be like, hey, I used to work with Vegapunk, so there's some things that I can show you that maybe even you haven't even thought of. You know, I created weapons, I created gas weapons, I even created that weapon that was gonna be strong enough to kill Big Mom. But you know, things just didn't work out, so maybe we can work together. And you have to remember, Judge may be a warrior, but at the end of the day, he's a scientist at heart. So he's not going to just toss aside not only a a Logia user like Caesar Clown, but also a really well-known scientist and a very valuable mind, because it may not be as good as Vegapunk, but you take what you can get at this point, especially considering that Judge just suffered a critical blow to his kingdom. He needs all the help he can get. So this may be a very cohesive, mutually beneficial alliance between Caesar Clown and Judge, because, like I said, they're both scientists. Caesar Clown used to work with Vegapunk. Mads used to be made up of Vegapunk, Queen, and Judge. So now that Vegapunk's in the world government and Queen just got defeated and Judge just recently got defeated and his kingdom is still licking its wounds, the only way he can get any chance of getting any semblance of power back is to have some type of advantage, something to come back with, something that no one's ever seen before, and it's got to be something that him and Caesar are going to cook up, because they're scientists. So I'm actually excited for what's going to happen with that, because I have a feeling that is going to lead to something bigger later on, because we have not seen the last of Caesar. We have not seen the last of the Germa. So yeah, I'm really excited about what's going to happen there, because you have to remember, there are times where we see cover serials and they do yield tangible results later on in the overall narrative of the story. Prime example being at the end of Fishman Island, we had an instance where Jinbei, Karibo and all that other stuff. Yeah, Karibo! I just realized Karibo in Wano. We haven't seen him yet. He was a big help in Wano, having all those extra provisions and weapons inside of his swamp body, which was essentially infinite space. So yeah, we haven't seen Karibo yet, because at first Karibo was in Fishman Island, then he got his ass kicked by Jinbei, got captured, was tossed over to the Marines, and then Jinbei left, found a poneglyph, and had Wanatsume, who was essentially giant, help him pick it up, and he delivered it to Big Mom, and later on, Big Mom said, I'm thankful for that poneglyph that you gave me, although I can't read the thing. And I'm like, that actually happened. And same thing with Karibo, which is why we see him in Wano, because it's revealed in his cover serial that he went to this island. First he was captured by the Marines, then his brother came to save him, and then he took his brother's ship and left his brother high and dry to be captured by the Marines, which was truly messed up. And then he gets caught up in a storm, and the ship sinks, serves him right. Ends up marooned on an island instead of drowning to death, because he's a devil fruit user who's supposed to sink in the water, but he ends up on an island. And this old woman helps him out, feeds him meat pies, nurses him back to health, because he reminds her of her grandson, who looks identical to him and is apparently the leader of a revolutionary group in the island that they're on, against the kingdom that they're under. So he decides that, he's going to leave, he's going to do his own thing because Karibo's got some business to take care of. And there was these random guys that believed that he was the squad leader, the revolutionary leader, and then the old lady starts chucking rocks at them, telling them to leave him alone, and then he goes off, and then those same men come back, rough up the old lady, and then Karibo comes back, I guess out of concern, sees the old lady roughed up, gets pissed off, and I think he finds the guys that did it, beats the hell out of them, and then goes to the revolutionary group and is like, you know what, they already think I'm this guy anyway, I might as well have some subordinates for a little bit, and he does that. So he goes and storms a citadel, he literally consumes the entire fort with his sinking into his swamp power, which was hella useful, by the way. And then next thing you know, Drake comes out of nowhere, knocks him off the hill, literally in his Allosaur form, and drags him by his ankle to take him back to Wano. And that's how he ends up in Wano. So pretty much that whole entire explanation is just a prime example of me saying, when Oda puts something in a cover serial that involves characters we might not ever see again, guess what? We're gonna see them again at some point, which is why I can't wait for Eneru to come back from the damn moon. So, with all that being said, this is the third pair tray. Thank you for watching. Be sure to rate the video, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. And stay safe.